Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Nerd Chat here on Electro Ninja's Lab. I am here with my fellow host,
I'm Jack.
and Joker's still not here. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully he'll be back soon. We'll see what happens.
That would be the hope, yes.
That would be the hope. We'll see what happens. Hopefully things get better. Maybe we'll record a second video later tomorrow or something. I don't know. But
It would help us catch up.
it would help us catch up. But yeah. So we were going to talk about the Game Awards briefly, which um the when we were first planning this, do you have any other things that you want to say? Because obviously I didn't record it. I didn't record our conversation when that was happening, but
No,
yeah, you don't really have anything to think about that you think about that.
not really. I mean, at the end of the day, we kind of knew what was going to happen. Uh, it was between Baldur's Gate and Tears of the Kingdom, and
Baldur's Gate 1.
I think, and Baldur's Gate won, and that's okay, and that's good. Um, I'm kind of glad it wasn't Tears of the Kingdom, not because I think it's a bad game, but because it's already won. You know, Legend of Zelda already won.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. To be fair,
And
though, it was insane how many awards Baldur's Gate won.
that's true. I mean, well, it wasn't insane. It actually didn't win all the ones we thought it was going to win.
Yeah,
It did lose to a game that I was relatively surprised. I can't remember which game exactly it was, but I remember being surprised that
yeah,
uh,
yeah. I remember what you're
I remember
saying.
being surprised that it didn't win. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But there were also some new games, and that's pretty honestly the real thing that I think people tune into the Game Awards for is the new trailers for like new games because
Honestly, that's true.
yeah, the Game Awards is one of the is probably the biggest game show at this point in time. Obviously, there's E3 and stuff like that, and other there are other big places that people will be showing off their games and stuff like that. But this is one of the biggest events of the year, so getting your game in there, um, it's like
It's a pretty big deal.
yeah, it's like getting a movie trailer at the frickin' Oscars, if that could
Exactly. Which I kind of wish they do. Not gonna lie. Like, if I might watch the Oscars if they for all the new movies that are coming out the next year, they were bragging on them and putting out their trailers. I might watch them.
I mean, fair. Yeah, because it's like
That,
honestly,
that's
they're
how you get engagement from the young people is by showing them what's coming next and what they can be excited about. Because if we already know, we're like, all right, well, this movie is clearly gonna win this because everyone liked it, even if I didn't. You know, it's kind of dumb. It's frustrating.
yeah,
But if we're getting to see all the new movies that are coming out, then it's super cool because it's like, okay, well, not only do I get to see whether or not this movie that I predicted to win wins, but I also get to see all the cool new stuff that's coming out, and that is really
exactly.
fun.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things that I think is why the Game Awards is so successful is just because they have all that stuff. Um,
Well, I mean, they got how many people? 867,000 people to sit for 4 hours. Yeah, I mean, that's insane.
yeah. So
And that's just the viewers on YouTube, much less Twitch and other places it was streaming.
yeah. So if it was like that was just YouTube. Not to mention the fact that not only was uh, you're talking about like the number that was going on while we were watching it, right?
Right, and then to people who watch it afterwards, and
Yeah, people were watching it afterwards. People were other people were live streaming it. Specifically, I
yeah,
know that who was it? It was a few people. So there was HMK, I believe. Um, I think that the Gamers Joint might have. I'm not certain. But also Canadian Guy A did, and I feel like there was
Okay.
someone else. I'm not. Scott Falco also did it. Did watch it. So yeah, so it's like major, like all of the. So obviously, people are watching the Game Awards just in their normal version, but then people are also watching it um, as
Live
it
streamed
uh,
by.
when it's being live streamed by other people, because then they can
Yeah.
actually have like a discussion with their favorite streamer about like, hey, what do you think about this specific game, and they can see what whether their favorite streamer or favorite YouTuber is going to be sitting around to later play said game.
Yeah. It's true. And the conversation really opens up, especially outside of that massive YouTube chat,
Yeah,
because really that massive YouTube live chat is them talking to creators and not excuse me, not to the YouTubers who are going to actually be the ones giving us gameplay on YouTube.
yeah,
They're talking to the people who are making the game who are not going to respond because they're busy. And so, I would almost rather watch it streamed by a YouTuber that I like
yeah,
rather than the big one, because then the discussion is with A, other people, and B, potentially that streamer.
yep,
So
yeah, and
it's
that's
nice.
so yeah, like, and like, granted, it's a much smaller group that are watching watching it live, but like for example, HMK's live stream, I think. So actually, correction, of the three people that I've watched and they live streamed it, the one that has the most views is Scott Falco at 16K.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Scott Falco's pretty famous. I've even heard of him.
Yeah, HMK has 13K, and Canadian Guy A has 5.9K people who watched it with him. So it's just like, granted, it sometimes it's good to not have to worry about it, not be
Yeah.
listening to somebody else talking about it and stuff like that, which is why I assume most people were watching on the main live stream. But all these people, but they were able to discuss it. They were able to see what games their favorite creators are probably going to be watching for as they come out. Like, I could imagine if like Mione had been live streaming it, he probably would have talked about like, oh yeah, I'm really excited for what they're going to be doing for Final Fantasy 16 or Final Fantasy 16 as well as Final Fantasy 14. Um,
In the remake of 7, right? You talked about that.
yeah, he I don't think he's as much into the remake of 7 as 16 and 14, but like he's a Final
That's
Fantasy.
really your thing for whatever reason.
Well, it's mostly because uh, that's for a lot of people. It's just weird. Honestly, I'm not even certain if I'm not going to be live streaming, or I'll probably talk briefly about the 7 remake as that comes out. Mostly because I think that it could go it's going a lot further. Like, I talked to my dad about this afterwards because he's actually played all of 7, all of the original game. Um
Uh-huh.
and we watched the trailer, and the trailer goes all the way to when Aerith dies, and
Uh-huh.
that is about halfway through the original game.
So do you think it's going to go all the way to the end of the original game?
I think that it absolutely could, but it's already 2 times the amount of gameplay as what was in the original game.
So was there like a 7 and then a 7 part 2 and then a 7 part 3 or something?
So 7, so 7 was a huge game. That's no big whoop. But the first 7 remake, Final Fantasy 7 remake, that was just basically what was in the original game, the tutorial, and that's it. It didn't go beyond what was considered the tutorial for the original game.
Weird.
Yeah. And there were a lot of things that in the original game they didn't have in that spot. But they obviously they expanded it hugely, making it a 24-hour play. It's practically a full game. with what with what they added for that. So,
Interesting.
and what my dad said is that it's that if it just goes to when Aerith dies, which is about the halfway point of the game, then that is 2 times what was in um frickin' Midgar.
What's Midgar?
So that was the basically the tutorial area.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so it's double what you already got in the old remake.
Yeah. So it's already double that. Not to mention the fact that there's if this is just like one of the this is one of the last trailers of the game, and granted, when they did the final trailer for remake, they did show that it would go all the way to the end of Midgar. They showed that that was how far it would go, and they showed pretty much something for every single part. But so it does remain to be seen exactly what they're going to do. But with I don't know, there's a lot with it. It's kind of interesting to see what exactly they're planning on doing, because obviously Aerith is going to die, and then it might be interesting to just have that be the end point of the game, of the remake, of the second part of the remake, which is Rebirth. But at the same time, they might decide, you know what, we're gonna go the entire route. We're gonna do the entire game, and who knows? We'll see what they do. Needless to say, I'm intrigued to see what they're planning on doing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I can't say I have a huge interest in Final Fantasy. However, we were talking about Kingdom Hearts as well, and I feel like if they were to put that on Switch, I would actually play that.
I mean, fair.
Because, and here's the thing, because the game Disney Universe, it was a Wii game. I think it was only on Wii. I can't remember exactly, what it came out on, but I know I had it on Wii, which is the sole reason I want to get a Wii, because that game is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
However, it's not on any other platforms. I don't currently have a Wii, and so if they were to put Kingdom Hearts on the Switch, I might play that because it's quite similar to Disney Universe in a lot of ways. It is Disney based. There's Disney, worlds that you're going through, puzzles to solve, and things like that. There's a huge, huge, huge difference, but
yeah,
it's not.
Yeah, for one thing, while it does have a lot of Disney stuff in it, it is much more. It's much closer to Final Fantasy than.
Right. Whereas Disney Universe is all Disney all the time. It's fantastic. In fact, I really like it because it did something unique that I haven't seen in other games, and that was you're not playing as a character. You are your character. Your character is a teeny little blue guy, looks like a Funko Pop, really.
Yeah.
And you're dressing up in costumes, and then you're taking those costumes, playing as them, and then leveling up the costumes so that when you play in that costume, you get a different whatever. And you can play as the different versions of the costume depending on what what level you're playing. And so it's really cool because there was costumes for each level that you would go through. Lion King, Alice in Wonderland, Aladdin, all of these classic Disney movies that everyone's got an emotional attachment to. You're playing through them and trying to figure out these puzzles while you're getting rid of these little soot motes and these little. It's a glitch, really, is what it basically is. Is that it's these little electronic evil guys, and I forever in my head is gonna live rent free the phrase "present for you" and it being something absolutely horrible, like some anti-buff that they give you, and you have to run away from it because it's chasing you. It's chasing you, and you have to run away from it because you can't kill it. If you touch it, you'll get it. So it's just so funny, and like the buffs are really stupid. Like there was one, my favorite one was that they would go present for you, and then it would appear, and it would be this shoe that was bouncing, and it had like a mouth and everything, and it was chasing you. It was just a bouncing shoe chasing you. It was bright ass yellow, and if you got hit with the shoe, you turned into the fucking shoe, and the only thing you could do was just bounce around for like a minute and a half.
Oh, that sounds a little bit infuriating.
Oh, it was so funny. I remember my dad and I played this game for just hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
Oh, such a good game. I wish. I mean, if it was on DS, I would get it there because I mean, I would do a lot of things to play this game again, Zephram. I would do a lot of things. Some of them of questionable legality. Let's be real.
Okay then. Oh my gosh. But
You know how I feel about my specific things that I like.
Yep. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, you should uh, honestly, I feel like if you did get a PlayStation and then you got the entire Kingdom Hearts collection, um
Mm-hmm.
I think that you would probably get into a lot more PlayStation games just in general because
Yeah, it's probably true. And you know what? We'll see how the tax return goes. How about that?
fair enough. But like let's see here. Like obviously there's other like I could see you absolutely getting into the Spider-Man game, the Star Wars games, probably some of the Final Fantasies. Not certain about those, but yeah, I could definitely see that. Um, if you had a PS2, I would say that you should absolutely play the Dark Cloud series.
Well, let's start at the one that can play the most recent games that I'm actually interested in, and then we'll talk about collecting backwards. I just started collecting backwards for Nintendo, and it's been 15 years since I've had Nintendo products. All right.
Fair enough.
And I'm
Oh,
not
look
technically
at
collecting
that.
backwards, I guess, in that case. I'm collecting what I already had. Yeah.
Okay, so apparently on the PlayStation 4/5, you can get the Dark Cloud series. They put
Well,
the
okay.
so yeah they it's
So step
digital
one is
only,
going to
but
be Wi-Fi. That's really step one here.
yeah
And once I get that shit sorted out, then we can talk about, other new consoles and things like that. Because
yeah the Wi-Fi
right now,
is driving me crazy.
without without Wi-Fi, it's kind of hard to do anything.
Fair enough.
And the Walmart Wi-Fi was stupid. It doesn't actually cover literally anybody. So that was fun. The guy literally said he'd had like 1,000 people ask about this Wi-Fi, and one person's address had been covered by it, and I was like, that is some serious bullshit.
Dang.
I was like, why are they selling it then? Like, is it worth the money to keep? No offense, but keep you hired here to sell it if no one's gonna be able to buy it? Like, what do you make per hour, and how much do these things cost? Is it really cost effective to not fire you?
I mean, fair enough. I mean, you didn't actually say that to him, of course, right?
No, 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 no. I did tell him it was a really dumb system, and he completely agreed with me.
Fair enough. But yeah.
I'm not about to insult a retail employee. They get enough shit, bro. I
Yeah,
already got
fair.
pissy with his manager because his manager was like, "Well, just go to Xfinity," and I was like, "Okay, so they can charge me 120 bucks a month for the exact same thing that I could get here for 40 if you just do your fucking job and the place wasn't stupid."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, you can get the cheapest one." I'm like, "Oh, the cheapest one? That's 24.99 and has literally 70 megabits of internet that won't run jack diddly shit." Yeah, and doesn't come with the equipment that you have to pay extra for. Yeah, I've done my research, dude.
Fair enough. Yeah. We're very much on the internet like all the time, so there's just like no possible way for us to not be using a really good system like we are.
Exactly.
So we have to use Xfinity, and we are. Um, but obviously it's not always the best option for people. Like you.
It's not. I don't know. I'm. I have no idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I know I need it, and it's important. I know it.
Yeah. You'll get around to it. Just take your time. Yeah. Anyways, the world is too expensive. But you
Yeah.
you got Assassination Classroom, you said.
I did, and I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to talk about it while we were recording, so you could have my first thoughts for posterity, because I know how you are as a person. Um, I picked up this book not knowing literally anything about Assassination Classroom other than that you liked it,
Yep.
and that for whatever reason Ben also likes it, which isn't saying a lot about most manga, but it is saying a lot about a manga that touts itself as relative horror. So, it did say a lot about that for the quality of it and the fact that it probably wasn't actually that terrifying. So that's good.
Yeah.
I will say $9.99 for, let's see, a couple hundred pages here. Not bad. Not bad. I do like it. It's a smaller manga. It's smaller. So I'm looking at right here. What have I got? I got Witch Hat Atelier. It's smaller than that by a good bit. It's just a hair smaller than Spy Family. Might even be the same size.
I think
as
it
Spy
should be the
Family.
same size as Spy Family.
And then it's just a bit bigger than my Death Note all-in-one version. But again, the Death Note all-in-one version is just basically a square, a cube, really. So,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's Shonen Jump, so it's definitely within the their standard
size.
And
it just looks so square in the store when I was buying it. It just looks so square because I was holding two Witch Hat Ateliers, or one Witch Hat Atelier.
Yeah.
But it just looks square. I will say I have two oddly sized manga that are really interesting to me. I have the Death Note short stories, which, as far as I thought, was a Shonen Jump, so it should be a standard size. However, it is not. It's a weird square shape. And then Twisted Wonderland, which is another odd square shape, but that's Disney. Disney's getting their toes in manga, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And then Witch Hat is a weird size, but it's because that's not.
Yeah, that's
Shonen.
through Kodansha, and Kodansha has their own standard.
Right.
Like any other Kodansha manga is going to be the same size. Any Sig manga is going to be the same size.
Yeah.
And I think that there's some other series that
I
are
need to
also.
find my Spy Family #1. That's weird. Oh yes, I also got My Boys Run the Riot, which is a really good one. I really like that one actually. It's surprising, but they're a Witch Hat size. They're not. And that's because they're the same. Kodansha. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Yeah, it's
then
something
I have.
you'll realize as you collect more that there are very specific standards.
Yeah, interesting. So that means Cells at Work is also that same size, isn't it? It is. How interesting.
Yeah, it's weird as heck when you once you realize it, and then it's just like, oh, that makes sense now.
So let's look at the rest of my manga. Well, not the rest of it because that's a lot, but.
Yeah. Let me see here. I believe that Yen On, which is specifically the light novels, I believe that is also to the standard size for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
For
Let's see. Here's
Kodansha,
Dragon Ball.
Seven Seas is a little bit smaller than Shonen and Shoujo. Most of the Viz stuff is all in the standard Shonen Jump size. So any Star Wars, the Stitch series is in that same size.
The Deadpool series, yeah.
Exactly.
The one I love the most, though, my favorite manga I own, and I will say that it's a special edition, so that's, probably part of it, is the Parasite ones.
Yeah.
In full color. God, that's just beautiful.
Yeah. So that is going to be any special editions are usually going to be in a little bit different of a category.
Yep.
So.
No, because they're in a fully different. I mean, it's hardcover. It's in a whole different size category there.
Yeah, I think it might be the same size. Height and width wise, as Soul Eater. I think it's a little bit longer though.
It is longer.
So I have the collector's edition for Soul Eater, so that's, but I don't have Parasite yet.
This one is Delicious in Dungeons.
Oh.
And that's Yen. It's also been fucking destroyed. Damn. But that's the Kodansha size.
Yeah, I think that Yen Press can be
Is
actually in either size.
yeah.
Um,
Put that in its own category. I just found one. There's second one.
oh, it's gonna be
And
fun
then-
when you find out that there's
You know
that
what's
there's two
interesting?
things for Kodansha.
I don't know why this is. I think it's a weird publishing company. This is screwed up, but I was reincarnated as a girl in another world. Is a really strange size.
What size is that? That's 7Cs,
It's
right?
a solid centimeter shorter than Shonen.
That's 7Cs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because yeah, there's 7Cs is slightly smaller than Shonen Jump. And it's just
Yeah.
it's bizarre. I think One Piece Books is also on the same level.
Oh, interesting. Miraculous is the same size as Shonen.
Yep.
And then my Astro Boy Omnibus 1 is, of course, Dark Horse, so it's a weird Dark Horse size.
Yeah, Dark Horse does its own thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. Welcome to the world of manga. It's...
And then, of course, I have the entirety of Promised Neverland, which is, of course, Shonen Jump.
Yep.
That's fun. And then I have the first 5 of Dragon Ball, which are classic Shonen.
Are those still the same size, or because those might be slightly smaller?
They're the same size.
Okay.
Yep.
While I'm thinking about it, let me grab the. So.
And then Parasite, which is absolutely fucking huge. It's actually bigger than the Kodansha.
Huh.
It's physically bigger than the Kodansha by half a centimeter on top, half a centimeter on the sides.
Interesting.
Which is crazy.
So,
Huge book.
I have so as you know, I have a Japanese version of a manga with My Hero Academia.
Right.
That is. So
We're gonna go on a slight adventure. The dog needs to pee.
Okay. I believe this is 7C's size. Actually, I could be wrong. But
I'm actually not a fan of the 7T size, and I'll tell you why. It's because the it's just so short and squatty. It feels just wrong in my eyes. Like it's hard for me to focus because the page is so small. I can see more than just the page if I'm looking at it. And it's just weird. It doesn't feel like a book size. It feels like maybe a kid's book or something.
Yeah. So I actually so I did so I just checked it against I just checked my Japanese version against the 7C size. It's actually smaller.
Oh, well, not to be, in any way rude here, but aren't Japanese people significantly smaller than we are? Typically?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I mean, it makes kind of sense, that they would scale it down so that it properly fits in the demographics' hands.
Yeah. But like...
And again, I don't say that because I'm like, oh, Japanese people are tiny. It's more like, well, they're just different than we are, right?
Yeah. But also, an interesting thing also that I think is kind of odd is that if you look at it, even though it is a significantly smaller size, the Japanese font is actually oftentimes bigger than it is in English.
Oh, I fully believe that one.
That's mostly due to the fact that they use less symbols at a time.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you're character-based language instead of a sound-based language, it's gonna be like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, like they're gonna a good majority of it use it when they have the chance. They do use kanji.
Yeah.
But even hiragana and katakana, because of the fact that they're syllables, they're not like what we they're not the same as us.
Yeah. Is it fucking snowing right now?
Is it?
You gotta be fucking kidding me right now.
That's
Are you
funny.
serious with this shit?
That's
Like
funny.
every third raindrop is a snowflake.
That's funny. Welcome to winter.
Oh fuck! All right, I'm only wearing a hoodie.
I would love.
This is garbage.
I would actually love it.
I got my face.
Here. I would love for it to snow here. I know that. I know that that's weird for me to say, but yeah.
Tommy, what is the poop dance? Come on, what's wrong? She's like freaking out. She's got the zoomies like crazy. What is this happening? Are you excited that you are no longer full of shit? What it is?
This is so funny that this is going to be on video.
Hey, it's life, right?
Yeah.
Slice of life.
Yep, pretty much. So, so how much of Assassination of the book have you read so far?
I'm like less than one chapter in. I was reading it last night before I went to bed. However, I will say my first thought was I definitely thought they were going to be learning how to assassinate. Like,
they are.
When I read Assassinate, well, no, but like, when I read Assassination Classroom, I thought, you know, a school for kids, like a bunch of spies, send their kids there, and
oh no, you're thinking of Spy Classroom.
Right, that's what I was. I didn't know that was a thing. So, but it's thinking Assassination Classroom. What I understood from the title was, okay, well, I'm gonna teach them how to assassinate. This is gonna be a story about a bunch of kids going out in the world and fucking just killing people. And I thought, well, that's interesting. Like, you know, Harmon. I was like, you know, that's interesting. Like, child assassins, kind of like baby geniuses. All right, I can get behind that. But I wasn't sure, like, really what it was. And then I start opening it, and the first thing they do is try to kill their teacher. And I was like, whoa, hold on. Hold on. What exactly is going on here? So I, like, read the back, and it was like the class of 3E and how they, like, they have to kill their teacher because of all this. And then I'm reading the book. I'm, like, reading through it. I'm like, so this alien creature comes to Earth.
Not an alien, but yes, go ahead.
Or some kind, well, alien, not alien necessarily as in ET alien. Alien as in, like, foreign.
And not even
alien
that,
as
really.
in weird and different and not typical of Earth.
Yeah, he's human, by the way. But yes, go ahead.
He's fucking human? What? He has tentacles.
Oh, it's weird. It's you'll love when you find out exactly what happens with that.
He has fucking tentacles, Zephram. How can he be human? I'm a human.
Mutant.
I don't have tentacles. Where the hell are my tentacles? I want tentacles. Fuck this guy. No, I wanted him to be some kind of wackadoodle fucking alien thing. Are you telling me this bitch is a human? Fuck that.
So he got experimented on, and that's why he has tentacles.
And he can move at Mach 20. Okay, I'm tracking now. I might just have to order the whole box set of this, because I'm intrigued.
Oh, it's great. Absolutely.
I haven't finished Neverland yet, so I'm going to do that. I'm trying to do that today. But, so I open the book, and I'm reading through it, and I'm like, so I open it, and first thing I see is this fucking wackadoodle dude with the smiley face and the tentacles, and I'm like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. I don't know what I thought it was, but this is not it. And then I read the chapter list, right? Killing time in homeroom. Okay. And then obviously there's a heartbeat going on. They look very, very stressed. And he's dressed like a PhD. And then all of a sudden there's just a million guns pointing at him. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I get it. And I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, okay. And then, but he's so, like, the whole time just a smile. You missed again. That's too bad. And then he's telling them what they did wrong. Like, this is whack.
It's fucking amazing.
And then he just fucking shoots himself in the arm to show that he actually isn't getting hit. But if they did, they'd know. And, like, yeah, this is weird. And now they're cleaning up bullets.
Yep.
And he took away part of the moon? That's the whole problem, is he took away part of the fucking moon. I mean...
Yep.
Why the moon?
You'll find out, eventually.
Oh, yeah, you're not gonna spoil that for me, too?
I'm not gonna spoil that. I think
That
that
would've
just
been
telling you that
nice.
he's human is just such a mind fuck that it's just like just
Uh,
saying that is a mind fuck. But if you watch the series or read or watch the series, um,
I
by the
probably won't
time that it
watch it.
happens, it's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But by telling you
Um,
now that that he is human, it's such a mind fuck at this point in time that it's just like, what?
okay, well now I'm looking it up on Amazon to see if I can order that next paycheck.
Yeah, it's like $100 or something.
Classroom manga box set. 116. Yeah, and it's I mean the the book itself isn't even on Prime because the first book isn't even itself on Prime.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I'm going to put that in my cart.
fair enough.
Volumes 1 through 21, exclusive poster, and a full color art mini book.
Yep,
Cool.
it's kind of cool. I got it recently. It's actually kind of funny because the my version, there's like a slight difference between the version that you get by itself and the version in the actual box set.
Uh-huh.
It's so minor. You would like like you just glance at it and it's like, oh, I don't see anything. But then you look a little bit closer and it's like, oh, I see the differences now.
Gotcha.
So it's
I have a lot of manga to read today. On my list is Assassination Classroom. I'm just trying to power through all the manga I ain't read yet,
fair enough.
which is really hard because I have 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 20 and beyond of Promise Neverland. 2 and 3 of Boys Run the Riot. 2 and 3 of Spy Family. Reincarnated as a Girl. Assassination Classroom. Miraculous. Death Note, the all-in-one edition, which I'm saving for last because that's going to take 5 ever. Delicious in Dungeon. Twisted Wonderland. Cells at Work 3, 4, 5, and 6. And Dragon Ball 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
And then if I really feel inspired, I'll read Toilet Bound Hateno-kun, but or Hanako.
I know what you're talking about. You don't need to. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really feel inspired by that one. That one
Fair
I just
enough.
have because I have it. I don't even know why I have it.
I mean,
my full
comparatively,
manga collection is getting large, guy.
let's see. So, do you know how many you have at this point?
Well, hang on. Let's count. Let's do that. All right. So we have 21 Promised Neverlands. I need a pen. All right.
Did I? Let me make sure that too.
Let's see. Where's my pen? There we go. All right. So we have 21 Promised Neverlands. Cat, you're gonna have to move. Move. All right. 21 Promised Neverlands. 3 Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. 1 Parasite. So 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Does Death Note all in one count as 1 or 9?
Depends on how you want. Either way, it doesn't really matter.
I don't know. I lost count.
Just do 1. I would say 1.
Okay. So, 1, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. So 52 right here on the bed with me. And then out in the living room. Did I say 52?
Yeah.
52? Okay. 52 out there, or in there. And then we've got the What about here? And I don't know where my mom put them all, so we're gonna just kind of have to find them. Do 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 do. I did pull some of them. I didn't pull all of them. Where did she put them? Oh, they're back there. All right. 52. And let's see, we've got here we have 53, 54, Seven Deadly Sins 1 and 2. 55, My Hero number 1. 56, Haikyuu number 1. Oh, put them on the bottom shelf. And then hid them from me. I get it by myself. Alright. What was that? 55?
Yeah, I think you were up.
56 is Blue Period.
Okay.
Oh, look, Pandora 7. 57. Demon Slayer, Stories of Water and Flame, 58. More back here. The Attack on Titan, volumes 1, 2, and 3, so 59, 60, 61.
Okay.
The Ascendance of a Bookworm, volume 1, 63. Does the light novel for Ascendance count?
Yes, I would count that because
54.
The amount that I'm gonna give you is my light novels and manga.
Okay, so 54, 55, 56. I think we might have spent it. So there, 56.
56 is your total?
I think so. Hang on. Yeah, Hooky doesn't count. I feel like I had one more. I had a big one. No, because where's Tagami Bachi?
Misplaced?
Yeah.
Weird. So somewhere in the 60 range. Let's just say that.
Yeah, in the 60 it is.
Okay.
I saw Tagami Bachi not that
So
long
I have
ago.
about 10 times more than you.
Yeah, you have 600 and some shit, I know.
Yeah, 610.
Wow.
And granted, that is including the box set as their individual things. So,
yeah.
it's got the box set, and then
I feel like
also
box sets are individuals, though, you know?
Huh?
Box sets are individuals. That's...
Yeah.
There's Tagami Bachi. So that's 62, 65.
Yeah, so...
Plus this. Still missing one more, so...
Yeah, 66 is actually the correct amount. Never mind.
66 is the final count. No, because Shuna's Journey isn't in here. 66. $67.
So, as you're getting, like, more and more light novels and mangas, I should probably give you a little suggestion for an app to help you out. Make sure you get Bookshelf.
Mm-hmm.
Because that can help you organize at least what you have, and know what you have and stuff. And all that you have to do is literally just scan the back barcode, and then boom, you've got it in your bookshelf.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's really helpful. And with over 610 manga, it's extremely helpful with finding out if I've gotten it or not.
True.
You don't want to be like me and accidentally get duplicates.
Yeah. That would be bad. Alright. Alright. So what I brought back from the outside is Kaiju number 8. I have read most of that one. I actually quite like it.
Yeah, I need to get around to reading it.
Kaiju number 8 is actually kind of cool because it's the story of a guy who wants to fight kaiju but becomes a kaiju himself, and he fights kaiju while he's also a kaiju.
Yeah, I definitely know a bit about it. I just haven't gotten around to reading it. I have the first 3 volumes, but I just need to...
I only have the first one, but...
Yeah.
So I then have the Deadpool Samurai manga, which are, like, shockingly thick compared to some of the manga I have. Good lord.
Yeah. And to be fair, they're like they're insanely good.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. And then I have Pandora 7, because you guys fucking suck. Fuck you.
It's great!
I fucking know it is. It's great. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's so good that you want to just keep reading it, and you can't.
Yeah, exactly. That's the fucking problem, Zephram. There's only two volumes.
I know.
And then I have Ascendance of the Bookworm, the light novel, which I still haven't read, but I have read the first volume of the manga itself, which I like better. But they're so expensive for so little content. And again...
So you prefer the Ascendance of a Bookworm manga over the light novel?
Light novel. Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. I would recommend at some point, with Ascendance especially, I would recommend watching the anime, because I think that would be an anime that you would like.
Maybe.
Like, yeah.
Okay, just on that part. I know that I'm missing 2, so I'm at 69, which is kind of awesome. Also, I have this graphic novel that I think you'd get a huge kick out of. It's really funny.
What's it
I'm
called?
gonna send a picture. It's called Goldilocks, Wanted Dead or Alive.
Huh.
I'm gonna send you a picture to the group chat. It's so interesting. It's a really, really interesting retelling of Goldilocks.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out at some point.
She's like... It's kind of like Goldilocks meets Robin Hood, but it's one of a series in this thing called the graphic novel from the Land of Stories.
Fun.
It's really cool.
I'll have to check it out at some point.
It's worth it. I know that it's an American graphic novel, not a manga or whatever, but you know, it's cool. I also thought that I had Witch Hat Atelier 2, which I do have Witch Hat Atelier 2 somewhere. I think it got thrown away though because it had cat pee on it. And so now I have 1 and 3, and that's the problem for me. So I ordered number 2 on Amazon. It'll be here tomorrow. So it says.
Fair enough. Speaking of which, you'll also be receiving the book from me for the book exchange tomorrow.
Oh, sweet.
So,
Sweet.
Look forward to that.
I'm gonna have to do your guys's on the 21st paycheck, unfortunately.
That's fine. Honestly, I wasn't real. I'm kind of not expecting it to be that big of a thing this year, just due to the fact that obviously Joker is struggling, and
yeah.
And also, he didn't want to send. He doesn't want to tell us what he wants in anything that's not super specific.
Yeah.
Like,
it's kind of hard.
Yeah, like drawing things that have to do with drawing Joker or drawing Legend of Zelda, and it's like, dude, you do realize those are extremely specific and kind of hard to come by.
Yeah, but I mean, it's okay.
Yeah. We'll bug him about it later.
Yes, we will. Exactly.
But yeah, so that's fun, and
so I'm excited to read Assassination Classroom. It's going to be interesting.
It's very fun. And that like considering the fact that that was like one of the first series that got me into anime, um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that you'll really enjoy that. We'll see what. I'm intrigued to hear your full thoughts.
Yeah. Me too.
So, yeah. Oh, fun fact: there's a new character for Blood on the Clock Tower.
Oh,
It's called Hatter.
is he mad?
Little bit. If you died today or tonight, the minion and demon players may choose new minion and demon characters to be. So basically, if you die, the evil team gets to change their characters. So
Oh,
let's say, for example, that the demon was the Oho, and they don't really like the Oho because they can't be very specific. They can't say, "I want this specific person to die." They have to choose their character. Um, then once the Hatter dies, they can be like, "Okay, I want to be the imp," or I'll just use that as the example because I know you know about that one. And the
yeah.
same thing
I've
goes for
seen
like other things. It's just like that's kind of fun. That's a fun way to do things.
him. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what how much if like obviously at this point in time we're not playing nearly as much of that as I would like to, but
Yeah.
at some point it would be fun to introduce that character into the game. There's so many characters though for freaking Blood on the Clock Tower.
Oh, seriously though, so many.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what people think of that if we do end up playing with that character at some point. But
It would be fun.
yeah, we've been going for nearly an hour. Do you have any more thoughts before we end this video?
No.
No. Okay. Well, next week is gonna be Pokemon.
Yes, it will. Yes,
So-
it will. And I'm excited for that. I'm so stoked.
Yeah. So obviously the 14th, we get our update. Everyone needs to get ready. Put it on your clocks, people, or your calendars, people. 14th, more Pokemon. And we'll get we'll record that video and get it out to you guys. Hopefully on the 17th, as long as Joker actually is able to play. We might do another video later, but we'll see. We might do another nerd chat this week, but we'll see what we do. Anyways, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I've been Electro Ninja, and we will see you guys next time. But on